everyone, it's Jordan Flowers, and today I'm going to teach you how to make a white wedding bouquet. We're going to start off with the white hydrangea, and 3 is a good number. 2 looks a little sparse for a bride's bouquet. And you make sure it's nice and round. We're going to get our green tape. It has kind of a sticky adhesive on it that makes them stay together. We're going to wrap it all the way from the bottom where the stems are to the bottom of where you want your handle to be. And it doesn't have to be perfect because it won't be showing. This will just be the base of your bouquet. The next I like to add is greenery. The greenery kind of creates a flow of where your bouquet is going to go. For today's greenery, we have some Italian ruskus. This one has a little bit of a gap right here, so already I think we're going to go on and make this the front of the bouquet. And we'll have the greenery nice and flowy. And Italian ruskus is nice because it's kind of bendable. Next, we're going to come in with our nagi. And again, just kind of fill in more spaces. A little bit more Italian ruskus. It always looks nice to have a nice greenery mixture. We're going to come in at this side, and already you can tell that this will be the front of it. And get a little bit of the greenery in. Make sure it goes naturally too around the handle. You don't want to force it to do anything that it doesn't want to do. Otherwise it'll look odd. We're going to make a loop around here too with the Italian ruskus. In the same way with this. Then we're going to get our green tape. And go over all of the greenery that we just did. This one's a little bit trickier because you need to make sure all of the leaves are out of the way. And sometimes it's just kind of wet, so it slips off. We're going to keep going down all the way until all of this is covered up. All right. Now we have our front and the side. It's nice to kind of create a little bit more greenness by adding this sprig here on the inside. All right. Then we're going to use our first premium flower. We have white O'Hara roses. And you don't want to stuff these into hydrangea. They are more premium and expensive than the hydrangea, so they need to stand out. They're also very full. Since this is the bride's bouquet as well, we're going to make it nice and full of them. It's nice to kind of round it out. And you don't want it to look so unnatural. Since it's a European bouquet, it's going to look more fresh cut, so they're not in a cross. You kind of want them grouped together. And with anything, everything looks good in threes. So we have our three creating a line. We're going to put one over here. All right, next we're going to add our line flower. And for that, we have this beautiful stalk. And it looks really nice if you add it over here. And add two. Your eye kind of goes in a line and goes down. Then again, we're going to add one more to make it three. And let's add that guy there. All right, now that we have our line flowers in, a little bit of fragrance, we are going to wrap all of that. Make sure they stay in place. For this bouquet in particular, we're trying to make it simple, classic, timeless bouquet. So that's why we're doing more of the garden roses, stalk, hydrangea. The bride also wanted it to have a little bit of a wildflower look. So with the wildflower look, we're going to bring in some wax flower and just kind of give it a little bit of color, as well as a little bit of wispiness. I like to use it in place of baby's breath. It looks a lot nicer and it doesn't have such a foul smell as baby's breath does. All right, now we have our line flowers in. We are going to, let's see, put in our wax. And it looks nice to have some poking out in different areas. It's already starting to have a little bit of color. Here's our last one that we're going to use, and I think it's going to have to meet it over here as well. Perfect. Again, we're going to get our green tape. And cover up the stems. All right, now we're gonna use a little bit of quicksand roses, and that's gonna give it more of a, not pink, but not mauve, but quicksand. So these color accents are not to be a lot, but just enough to add a little bit of a touch of color. And then we'll have some down here. I'm loving it. And we'll need just one right here. Beautiful. All right, we have a nice full bouquet that kind of tapers off here. The last flower we're going to use are these lisianthus. Lisianthus kind of give it more of a whimsical wildflower look. So we're going to put him over here. And make sure you put them exactly where they're going. All right, and then we're going to add a little bit more in here. And it's probably best to take off these leaves so they don't poke through the hydrangea and make it look dreary and compressed. So we're giving it more of a spring pop. And poke this out a little bit more so it's not so tight together. All right. Next we're gonna get this lisianthus. Make sure it's not broken. I'm going to put these right over here. All right, and I think it'd be nice to bring one in here. And then last one, we'll put it here. Lastly, we're just going to wrap it all up. And this was the final touch, so we're going to make sure there are no holes or gaps. It's nice and tight. You can't see any stem because So we're going to deliver it just like this and wrap the ivory silk around it at the venue. And we'll just go a little bit further. All right, one final touch, tornado clips. And put it in water immediately.